Hello everybody, 'tis the amazing gaming guy here, and welcome back to the Steampunk City, where this week we begin work on the industrial sector of the city. Now in this section we will be building factories and the train station, which I know some of you have requested to see, and it will be happening, not today, but very soon, because we are now starting on the section that will include that part of the build. Now, we've just started this off by creating a sort of a bridge across the bay here, and we put a cross lattice structure on the bottom just to firstly make it look industrial, and also just to serve as a support to this raised section. Now the main aim for today's build is to get at least one, maybe two factories complete in this area, and we wanted to have a number of factories here and to have them all sort of interlinked, so it's like it's one big industrial sector which all works together, but within that there's different factories making different things. Now here you can just see us mapping out these factories, and we're using some different materials this time, and something that we haven't used yet, and I'm very surprised that we haven't used yet, are bricks, just regular bricks. And this is the first time we've actually really used them, and they do look good in this texture pack, and I can't for the life of me think why we haven't used them so far, but this is the perfect place to start using them, because this is going to be the most sort of industrial looking, sort of Victorian style section in terms of its architecture. And speaking of the architecture, this front side of this first factory looks very much like a sort of cathedral at the moment, and that's not a bad thing because we do want to try and incorporate a lot of different styles into it, so sort of religious factors and industrial factors all into one. And this is one of my favourite parts of this building actually. Coming around this side here, we have the entranceway to the building. You can see just a door constructed down there underneath a sort of an overhang in the building. And yeah, we wanted to make this very traditionally industrial, so there's no sort of counterlevered overhangs and stuff, because that is way too modern for this build. We're using big, strong brick supports for any overhangs. And on the corners we've made these big nether brick structures, because we really wanted to draw attention to the sort of corners and the outline of the building. Now at this point, me and Joe both sort of diverged. He was doing the far side of the building whilst I was doing this closest side here. When planning this build, some of the reference images that I looked up were of real life examples of Victorian style factories and mills. Some of those included the Battersea Power Station in London, and also the Tate Modern building in London as well, and also more northern factories in England. This is definitely a very British style, the Victorian Industrial Revolution sort of style, which is, you know, the central point in steampunk. But we definitely wanted to really channel the industrial impact of it in this build, and that's why I was using these really big, tall but thin windows, which were really dark and you could barely see through them. I used brown stained glass panels for those, and we also used a lot darker materials, so we used the bricks and we used nether bricks, dark oak wood, just to, you know, really bring it in, really make it enclosed and dingy and depressing, which is not what I try to aim for in my builds, but it really is the right way to go for this one. Now for the roof of this building, we decided to go for a regular triangular peaked style roof, which would go all the way back through the building, but then be cut into by the chimneys on the back corners of the building. And we built these up initially from nether brick, but then I think we changed. Yeah, here we go. We changed them into polished diorite, maybe, or andesite. I still don't know what those blocks are. I don't know where that little voice came from. Yeah, and I decided to sort of link those two towers together as well, just to sort of try and support them to make a little bit more sort of physical sense. And Joe created a further fourth chimney onto that building, and then we went about and we created this smoke, and we definitely tried to make sure that it was gliding in the same direction as the smoke coming out of the port entranceway, because it would not make sense if it wasn't going the same way. We want to try and keep the same sort of wind direction throughout this build, so it looks good. And I finished off that little bit just by brushing up on those spheres, just cutting bits off and putting bits on so they looked a little bit less sphere-like. Now, coming around into the sort of alleyway here, we've got this little plaza in the middle here, but it was all way too open and exposed, so we decided that we were going to bring the building over this little plaza and turn it into more of a enclosed alleyway space. And I really like that little textured circle and stuff that Joe put in there. I hadn't seen that before. This is definitely the darkest part of the build so far. It's the textures are so sort of gloomy, and I really like that. And it looks really good when it's raining in the game with the shaders. It was raining just a second ago and it's stopped now, which is just perfect when I'm trying to point it out. But you know, the water sort of reflects and stuff. These are the Sonic Ether's Unbelievable Shaders version 11, which I've just got. And it's beautiful, and the water reflects on the ground when it's raining, and the water has like proper ripples and stuff, and light ripples in deeper water, and it's beautiful. Now, building some roofs onto this other factory here. We just about finished this factory. Yeah, this was the last building of the build today. I said the word build quite a lot there, didn't I? Now that is just about all we have time for today. I just want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Build It Steampunk City. We are really quite quickly heading towards the end of this build, and I'll be sad to see its end, but excited to move on to the next thing. And just a little channel-wide update. Yes, Boomtown is on a very brief hiatus at the moment. We hope to continue that very, very soon. It doesn't get quite the same amount of views as these videos do, but it's more of a passion project. I really enjoy making Boomtown, and if you haven't watched any Boomtown, do go check it out, because I'm very, very proud of it. It's a right laugh. It's really good fun. It's very different to these videos, but I really do enjoy making it and sort of watching it sometimes as well. It's yeah, I'm proud of it. It's something really fun. But yes, that's on a brief hold at the moment because Ranty's computer is broken and he needs to get it fixed, and he's gonna hopefully get it fixed quite soon. So I'll be doing other little builds and things to try and make up for those lost episodes. So yeah, that's just about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!